that bragging rights for the manufacturers, the teams, and the drivers. The lights off on the BMW pace car as the field comes down. Trent Hinman in the BMW on the pole, the 48, the Aston Martin alongside Tonise Kazimets. He's one tough customer as they look for green down the front straightaway. It waves, and we're racing at Lime Rock Park.
And they break rank early. Look at that TRG Aston. He's out to the outside looking for a way through.
Down into turn one, cold brakes, cold tires. Who's going to push a little bit further? Who can keep the car underneath them? And you see the rum bum Porsche, Hugh Plum in the BMW back there.
Argy-bargy there up front. Look at the battle for the lead. Tonise Kazimets goes to the front. He ran the cushion around turn one and gets the lead into turn three.
And Nick Longy in that rum bum Porsche there, about fifth in the order.
Got by in front of Jack Roush Jr. and the first of those Mustangs climbed the curb down there in Big Bend, loosened the Mustang up, and we have some argy-bargy and people off track in the back.
Remember, 30 minutes is the number that the rum bum team needs to meet, and then the championship should be theirs. On board the 78, Richard Gullinello.
See Ashley McCollum right in front of him, trying to go into West Bend, trying to get that position. There's our championship leader. For them, all they need to do is to get 30 minutes on the board, and they will clinch both the team and the Drivers' Championship here today.
Nick Longy wants to find a place that he can run comfortably. Where would you want to be? Right now, he's kind of in the middle of a war.
Not at all uncommon to see those white Aston Martins running out front. They've been fast all year long, Calvin. They just not have had the good luck. They've not had the reliability to win a race yet.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to close the deal. I mean, speed has not been a problem, but they say we can run a lap by ourselves to speed, but when we get in race conditions, we don't seem to have the total package, but they've been knocking on the door. But this is round 11 of 11. It's going to happen. It needs to happen today.
Another team that has run strong all year long is the number 9, John Edwards, right now behind the wheel of the Stevenson Motorsports Camaro. Chris?
And Brian, you were saying that this team is always so strong here. I talked to Mike Johnson, the team manager, about that earlier in the weekend, and he said, you know, actually before this place was repaved, we were stronger when it was a really bumpy track, but since the repave, we don't feel like we have the advantage that we used to. But we still do have strength there, and he thinks that is just because they set the car up so asymmetrically. Since there's so many right-hand corners here, they really just set that Camaro up to turn right and give up that one left-hander that they're getting ready to head into right now. But it's obviously a very special technique to try and figure that out. And Dorsey, you know, you kind of have that all figured out.
That's one thing that most of these guys do. With one left-hander, and understand that that left-hander is the slowest corner on the racetrack, it is also a compromise corner where you wouldn't want to go fast through it because the next corner is much more important. So you set the car up to turn right, you set it up to be biased, if you will, and you'll get better lap times around here.
Yeah, it's almost a throwaway corner. You see Hugh Plum now starting to put the pressure on Kazimets. He wants that second spot in a bad way.
We've got a long way to go from Lime Rock Park. Taking a look out the back of the 78, Richard Gullinello, as he runs back in the 17th position, but this has been the best battle on the racetrack. John Edwards in the red, blue, and yellow number 9, the Camaro, really putting pressure on the white 55 Aston Martin of Jade Buford.
Yeah, they've been running side by side for a couple of laps here, and John is looking for a way by. I mean, that Camaro has a lot of grip here in the early going. He's really able to tuck that car and get the grip he's needed, but getting a pass made here at Lime Rock, it is tough, Dorsey. It's really a chess match.
It's a momentum track, and what happens when you catch the back of another car is you lose your momentum. So what he needs to do is back away and get a run and try to time that run to catch right at the downhill, but not to go inside of the downhill, just to catch and get the draft down that front straight.
Well, while this battle continues, Trent Hinman continues to lead for 13 laps now. He's been out in front, and for the Fall Line Motorsports crew, Darren Law, it's got to be good news. Things are looking good.
Kazimets is closing in on our leader, Dorsey.
Yeah,
those Astons are getting a little bit closer. That seems to have a very strong long run pace here. Both Buford, who currently sits in third, that's the second of the white Aston Martins we're looking at on screen. The 71 car right there is Tonise Kazimets, who started on the front row. So the balance seems to be staying with those Astons, Chris.
Yeah, Cal, I mean, we've seen these Astons go so quick all year long, but it's been some mechanical issues, some mistakes in pit lane that have really kept them out of victory lane. So that team hoping that they can get a win with that car before they change over to a new car next year. You said earlier that they were going to be doing that, and it sounds like they're going to be moving to the next generation Mustang. Larry Holt from Multimatic saying that they want to develop that car as a catalog car so racers can just go purchase it right out of the catalog and take it to the racetrack, much like they did with the last generation Mustang. But we probably won't see that on the racetrack and probably until August or so of next year.
I'll tell you what, Tony's Kazmits, it was a second and a half at the line 2 laps ago. Then it was 7/10 of a second. Now it's half a second. So Kazmits beginning to close in, and actually I think Hinman's backing up a little bit because Kazmits, Buford, John Edwards are all closing the distance down on Hinman, and traffic isn't going to help.
Now, one thing they've got to be conscious of here as well is the fact the fuel strategy, things like that, when you're not getting the yellow, it's hard to save fuel. But see a car off there to the outside, that might have been the 38 car.
That looked like it.
Jim Norman may be having a problem there. That's a car that's been very quick this year, coming off a win at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. He and Spencer Pumpelly.
And you see right now Trent Hinman having to deal with traffic.
This could be big.
Oh, it could be huge.
Kazmits will get a run on here, but they both got to clear that car down into the downhill.
Trying to work their way past the 99. Steve Phillips sharing that car this weekend with Rob Eklund, and all 3 of the top 3 get past him, but that allowed Kazmits to close up even more from a half a second to 3/10 of a second.
And Hinman's getting a little bit wide there, Brian. Hinman definitely losing a little bit of grip there through Big Bend, Dorsey.
I think possibly the tires starting to run off on the BMW more so than are on the Aston. Certainly they have the grip level in the infield.
Hey, look at this. This is for the lead. Kazmits to the inside.
And right in front, Richard Gallinello in his Mustang.
West Bend, it's a tough pass right there.
Yeah, and a great move. Now Gallinello is in their sights as Kazmit's going to work on the Mustang as they come down there, the copy Mustang.
Comes the other Aston up the inside.
Comes Edwards too. That traffic has really had a huge effect here over the last couple of laps. Top 4 cars all covered by a blanket.
Look at John Edwards in the Camaro now right there on the rear bumper of Jade Buford.
Stack up there. There's a stack up there. There's contact there, I think, between Buford and Edwards. As that 78 car was off in the marbles a little bit.
Got too wide and couldn't get the car turned back. You heard the tires squeal. Stacked everybody up. Look at the steering wheel back behind.
Look at this. Gallinello's just trying to get out of the way right now. He's like, let me out of this.
I want to disappear, but I can't.
Now it's calmer.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And Tony's Kazmit.
Great run by Edwards there through the uphill.
Pop to the inside here. Might be able to get it done. Nope. Thinks better of it.
West Bend, that right-hander, so quick, hard to get it in there. You've got to really have an advantage over the other competitor now. Can John Edwards get a run on Jade Buford in the white 55 Aston Martin down the front straight?
Hinman's definitely having a little bit of a handling issue right now, Dorsey. You may run the tires off a little bit by the pace he was running. Here comes Buford to the inside, down into the brake zone. We know the Aston is really strong there. Doesn't have the position. Can't quite make it stick.
But if he can squeak in here, he could squeak in here and
take it in there. Yeah, because Hinman was having trouble there with grip before.
What can Edwards do while these two battle? Which direction is he going to go?
Look at that. The door was open. John tries to get it in there, but he's going to be on the wrong side for the next right-hander.
And gives it up. He knows it's not going to work.
Now, on to No Name Straight, which, Dorsey, as you were saying last night at dinner, is not straight at all. And then into the uphill, Edwards putting pressure on Buford. Buford pressing the BMW in front.
The other thing is Mike Johnson will have been on the radio to John Edwards saying the championship is over, go for the win now. And he was certainly looking at a big picture. There was an outside chance if the run bump car had problems and the 9 car took the victory today, they could sneak the championship. Right now, just go for it. Nothing to lose.
Buford peeks inside at the downhill. That's going to allow Edwards to get a run. Down the front straight away. Hinman just a little bit defensive to driver's right. Edwards swings wide around the outside in his Camaro.
Might pop underneath here if he can get side by side again. Problem with that is he's got Edwards behind him. He's going to trap him if he does that.
This is what Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge is about. 3 different marks right there. Oh, and Buford a bit loose.
Nice slide.
Hinman's doing a great job. He really cut his teeth here at Lime Rock Park, was based up here and did his early years with the Skip Barber organization here at Lime Rock Park, so he knows this place like the back of his hand. and he's certainly doing a tremendous job right now holding down that second position.
I agree with you, though. I think the BMW's off its tire game a little bit more than the Astons. They seem to have been able to weather the storm a bit more.
Oh, looks to the inside. That will cost him some momentum here. Buford will have a run.
Definitely. Right here's a perfect way to set a guy up, too.
They're going to catch Preston Calvert in the downhill. Is Hinman going to try to squeeze past? He does.
Watch Edwards. He could get a run on all of these guys.
Absolutely could do it from third place back.
And that was Preston Calvert in the 35 Mustang, his very first ever Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge race. They worked past him successfully, but Edwards swings wide around the outside. He gets Buford, or does he?
No.
Well, he's got to just try and hang in there. If he can try and tuck to the inside, he'll have the inside line for the next left-hander. This is what he's been working on for about half an hour here.
Now he
finally may make it stick.
Yep, now he's got him.
Buford drops in behind, gives John Edwards a little rub through the left-hander. Now Edwards in the number 9 Camaro has his sights set on the 48 BMW in front of Hinman.
You got to look so far in front of where you're racing at. You got to look past the guy you're trying to pass and see what's going to happen to him, because you use those traffic opportunities as a pick, and you want to do it. You want to set these places up. There's only a couple places to pass.
This little battle here really epitomizes what Lime Rock Park is all about and the type of racing you have here. You can go side by side, but it doesn't mean you're going to make the pass. You just got to keep working it, and finally, as we saw, John Edwards got that position.
We talk a lot about the future of sports car racing. You see it right there. Trent Hinman, Jade Buford, John Edwards, some young guns, and if we added up their age, they probably wouldn't total up to Dorsey's.
No, no.
Oh, look at this.
Edwards to the inside, went to the outside, tucked it back under. Stevenson Camaro up to the second spot.
Trent Hinman just got schooled.
He faked him. Yeah, he did a really good job, too, on that. He faked him up the
Yeah, I think it's the right call. Matt and I like a little